But it's like a conversation has helped me with so many. Like, I mean, there was a conversation that me and my friends were having where my friend said something about wanting to put warning labels on all men. And I was like, how iconic would it be if, like, we all came with warning labels? Like, what would that say? Like, what would your warning label be? And I was like, yo, that would be so crazy. Not only is it good a question, but also people are crazy. I'm about to get some crazy answers. Especially if I'm like, tell me about your ex. They're about to go stupid. I'm about to get some crazy radio time right now. And what happened? Everybody was so excited for that.
That's like, all right. We back. Another episode of the Risk Takers.
Yes,
I'm your
sir.
boy Jason Summer with my co-host.
Oso.
Yes, sir. We here, and we have the lovely, amazing, your favorite bestie, Miss Lisha B in the building.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. How you feeling today?
I feel great, you know. I don't know. I woke up this morning being like, dang, today's a good day. First day of spring. It didn't
Couldn't
feel
tell,
like it
I
today,
was about to say.
though. But, you
Snowing
know.
crazy.
Yeah. Real quick, why don't you tell us what you just got? Where'd you just get back from, man? Get that boy some flowers.
I was going to address this on the rundown, but you know what I'm saying, my dog put it on here today. I just got back from New York. I told y'all I was going to speak on it the next time I saw y'all. I ain't see y'all in a minute. With nothing that was recent, I guess, you know what I'm saying, some of the pre-recorded episodes that we had. Just got back from New York, man. Just got done doing a art gallery out there, man. Shout out to everybody out there that showed mad love. It was crazy. Big vibes. It was a surreal moment. It was people coming up and like taking pictures of my shit, dog. It was crazy,
What's up,
bro.
And
it was a lady in there.
Big congratulations.
It was like, I told her when we got in, I said, man, I don't want to do nothing. You know, I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to be chill, you know what I'm saying? Maybe drink a couple of wine and then, you know what I'm saying, get up out of here. And then as soon as I said that we got the wine, this lady was like, are you Oso Loso? I said, God damn. And then just got right in it through the night, man. So shout out to everybody that showed mad love, man. New York, y'all don't owe me nothing. Big turn, big lit.
I love it. Congratulations.
Thank you. I
again.
appreciate it.
All right, but tapping in with you, man. Our favorite, the way we start this off is every question is we allow the person we're interviewing to define who they are. So let us know who you are.
Well, I'm Alicia, or better known as Lisha B. I'm a young lady from the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia, not a motor vehicles child. And, you know, I love music and I love the app. That's really me.
How you get to Grand Rapids?
The job. I applied to the job and moved here less than like 3 weeks later, essentially.
Damn.
Oh, that's
Oh, so the radio brought you here.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I didn't know what Grand Rapids was until I got the job, and I was like, "Oh, let me make sure that I can actually be here." Hold on.
Tight.
Crazy. Okay, that's real risk taking right there.
That is
That
for
the
sure.
definition.
You moving to Grand Rapids for
I
some
didn't know
work,
that.
man.
Yeah.
That's real risk taking right there.
Wow. I remember we talked about that a little bit at the radio station, but I didn't remember you saying you just filled
up
out.
and left because it was like I wasn't getting paid the way that I needed to down there, so I was like, "Let me just see what happens."
You was at the radio station down there.
Mhm,
What was
but
that
I was-
radio station?
I was at oh my gosh,
Do
now
you
I'm
feel
like
comfortable
blanking.
saying the
Oh,
name?
yeah,
You
no,
want to
for
get
sure.
them props on here?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
It's Radio 1 DC because I worked for like all the stations in that building, so it would be a lot to like list them all. But I was the local producer for Russ Parr Morning Show. He had a syndicated show for years. Like I grew up listening to him, and I worked with a bunch of the radio talent that's still there. So yeah, I was just more like behind the scenes more so than like actually speaking. So I was like, yeah, I want to speak because I feel like I could do this show a little bit better, if not like at least on the same level. So I took a chance. Or whatever.
Fire. That's valid.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So, what made you get into radio? Like, what was that inspiration to be like, that's what I want to do?
So funny enough, I was in college at a school that will not be named because that was the first year. We don't mess with that school. But me and my roommate at the time, like we would just like shoot shit. Or can I curse?
Yeah,
Okay, cool,
everybody asks me all the time.
Because I'm so used to like not.
Yeah, as long as you
doing
ain't
it.
on here going crazy.
No. But, we would go back and forth in the cafeteria, and our friends would be like, no, y'all are funny. Like, y'all should figure out a way to, like, do this with each other.
Type.
And one of our friends just happens to work at, like, the college station. So we were like, let's just try it. You know, no big deal or whatever. We got there. I tell you, when I looked at that mic and I started talking, it just felt right.
Damn.
And it's a complete change from what I wanted to do in life. which definitely jarred my mama for a run for her money. But yeah, once I did that one time, I was like, I got to do this forever. And I just had to figure out what that was going to look like.
Did you, and last time we was at the radio, I told you, like, you have a voice made for the radio. Is that something, did that just, like, come to you, or is that something you worked on? Like, did you practice, did you listen to other people on the radio station and, like, try to be like them, or how did?
I mean, yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like because I was around so many people and, like, I really hustled. Like, I was in people's faces.
Type.
The mentor that I have, Autumn Joy, let a girl.
Shout out.
I was in her face, like, asking whatever she wanted from me. Like, I became her assistant because I was so consistently, like, trying to get in her face, trying to be at her events, supporting them. And then just being in that building, even though I didn't have the job that I wanted, I made sure that everybody knew me. I was always, like, asking if I could, like, sit on people's shows just to listen to them.
Type.
So I think maybe subconsciously, like, I learned something. But it was more so just, like, subconsciously, I was like, okay, audio, I know that. I know that it would be better and sound more clear if I deepened my voice than how I typically talk. And then, just over time, hearing myself in different ways, I can figure out what my best sound sounded like. So, yes and no. That was a long-winded answer.
I was going to ask the same thing because usually before you start doing something, people will be like, man, you got the eye for that, or you should do that. Anybody, like, try to add you over to the music, to the radio?
Not radio, more so like music, because I wanted to be a lawyer. I still do.
Okay.
But just not the field of law that I wanted to go in. I want to go into more entertainment, sports business now.
Got you.
But me and my friends, as I grew up, like, my grandfather, even though he was blind, he would, like, play blues in our house.
Dang.
So I was growing up listening to B.B. King and, like, James Brown all day. And if you know anything about D.C., we have a huge go-go scene. So I'm used to live instrumentation, like, outside of my house, just going to the ice cream store real quick. So I grew up just listening to music, and I fell in love with the fact that as I was traveling, because me and my mom are big travelers, it just made sense that other people knew what artists I was talking about, even though we didn't speak the same language. And people that I didn't typically, like, see myself as being friends with, I connected with them through music. So we would just talk about, like, our favorite artists or versus battles or just, like, intricate conversations about music. And they were like, no, like, I feel like you would be really dope at, like, talking about music with people. And I was like, I mean, sure. Like, who's going to really listen to me? Right. And then and then when I did it, I was like, wait, maybe people will listen to me. Hold up.
Type.
Fire.
Man, that's mad dope, though. That is. Like, I don't know. I feel like kicking off something that's so crazy like this, you mentioned your mom and you paying for school and stuff like that. How was that? Like, oh, man, I think I'm dropping out of school. I'm leaving school to, really get it cracking in something that really, feel like the future to me. How did that transition go?
Ooh, I love my mama. Mama B.
Shout
out Mama Dukes.
My mom is she's a single mother, so she wanted the best for me. And she thought that the avenue that I was going, since I was a kid, I was saying that I was a lawyer. Like, everybody knew that. So I went to different programs, and, like, she spent money actively to make that dream happen. So when I came to her sophomore year of college and was like, hey, girl, I want to yap the rest of my life, she was very much, as a parent would, was, like, apprehensive about it. She was not down with it. And it was a little jarring because, like, obviously you want your parent to support you.
Type.
But at the same time, she taught me that I should have a job that I like going to every day. Not saying that, like, every day is not going to have a struggle or you're not going to want to go one day, but you should still have a passion for something that you're doing. And I didn't feel that passion in the way that I was going. So I was just like, well, you built me this way. Trust me. Like, give me time to show you, like, I'm actually really passionate about this and serious about it. And once she started seeing, like, how committed I was and, like, the things that were happening and, like, falling into my lap and, like, opportunities that were happening, she was like, oh, no, let's go full throttle. And now she's super obsessed. Like, she knew I had this new venture before I thought I had the new venture. So, like, she's super supportive now. So, yeah.
Man, that's dope, man. Shout out Dukes. That's kind of like my transition, like with my pops, I always be like, man, trust me, what I'm saying? Y'all instilled this strongness in my brain, let me, what I'm saying? Let me spread my wings a little bit. So
Exactly.
That's dope, man. Shout out to Dukes for being, understanding, because it ain't always something to understand, as us being, creators in our own field, It's hard
My
to
mom
make
is
people
not
understand.
in a creative field at all. Like was an accountant for the government. So like
Type.
she didn't understand this world. I think the most that she got it was my uncle was in the league and my cousins in the NFL too. So like that was the closest that she could get to it, but she never experienced that like herself. So watching me have to go through certain things, she's like, "Oh, I don't understand anything, but I love that you're doing it. Great."
What being a woman, I'm not trying to bring the victim mindset or anything like that, but being a woman in this space, do you feel like it was any adversity or anything that was tough getting to where you at right now?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like every woman in radio can definitely stand 10 toes down and say this stuff is hard.
Sidebar real quick? Just real quick, this is our first female risk taker too. I just went first to many.
Trina was
happy.
happy too.
First female
Was
risk
like,
taker.
oh, y'all
Yeah.
finally getting a girl on there.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I'm happy.
About time.
Yeah,
sure,
so
for
definitely.
But yeah, I feel like any woman in radio can like tell you that it's hard because just as a woman in general in any space, in any industry, you have to work 10 times harder than the average person. On top of that, I'm black, if you can't tell. So I have to work 20 times harder than the average woman. So, I mean, there's always someone looking down on me just for those. And I'm young. I'm very assertive. I know what I want in my life. And I don't really take no for much of an answer, which can be a hindrance or a blessing. So, there's a lot of odds stacked against me, but I don't necessarily focus on it too much. I'm not saying that, like, there haven't been people or specifically males in the industry that have made situations harder. But I mean, it just shows me that like, even with that, I'm still supposed to be here. Cause even though you're trying to kick me out or you're trying to treat me this way, it's still like, God is still blessing me. I don't know about you, but I'm not going to worry about it too much.
Yeah, that's dope.
What was your mom's reaction to you completely leaving to come to Grand Rapids for this job?
Well, she, was just really excited for the opportunity to happen because she knew that, like, I was feeling stifled and that the opportunity would allow myself to, like, finally see what this was, like, to finally get a chance to really be fully immersed into what I wanted to do because with my show, it was all me. Like, I do everything from the show prep to the editing to, like, from beginning to end, what you guys hear on air, that's all me doing.
He's in there. You was pressing all the buttons and everything. I was like, oh, she really know what she's doing.
Exactly. Yeah. So finally getting that taste, she was like, no, take that chance. Obviously, as her only child, she was apprehensive just because of the distance. Because Grand Rapids is like 12 hours driving away from D.C., and the only flight that I can take, don't really, happen all the time. Right, it's not like a constant flight. Right. So, she was definitely like, you're going somewhere where we have no family ties, you have no friends, but I mean, I've raised you enough to like stand on your own and obviously call me. But yeah, she was apprehensive, but we knew that this was the leap that I needed to take because of the way that it happened.
Got you. So how big was the gap from dropping out of school, working DC?
Oh, no, I didn't drop out of school.
Oh, okay.
I graduated from North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, Aggie Pride, HBCU.
Shout out there. Yeah, she left the first year from the other one.
Gotcha. The other one, I didn't like that one.
She finished.
With leaving the field that you wanted to, go to school in, how long was that gap, in between to Grand Rapids from then?
From like college to Grand Rapids? Ooh. Probably like a 5 to 6 year gap.
Okay. So when you moved here, your mom was already like, she already was on the Lisha B train.
She was starting to, but it was still like I was a part timer.
Got you.
So she was like, okay, baby, you about to like not be on my insurance. What's happening? Like, you got bennies? You getting full-time checks? Like, where's the comma? Like, what are we doing?
Right.
So like, she was excited, but also like, let's make something happen.
So.
Were you still in college when you decided to make the move over to radio?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sophomore year of college is when I decided to double major, and then I dropped law altogether junior year.
That's crazy. Like, what was that first feeling for you? Man, you got a lot of firsts I want to ask about. So when you first got off the flight in Grand Rapids, like,
I drove here. You drove here 12 hours.
So
you
drove here
12 hours.
So, like, what was that like when you first got here? Like, I'm assuming you had somebody you was connected with enough to come up here and stay, or did you just come up here, you had your own place, and you didn't know nobody?
Like, when I got the job, I flew up here and then, like, had a meeting with them walked around, found my apartment, thank God, because then like 2 weeks later I was here. So I didn't know anybody.
That's crazy.
Damn.
So yeah, it was definitely jarring, and also Grand Rapids is very different from DC. So
Yeah,
it was
imagine.
very much of a culture shock. And then because of what I do, my job is to like help the community, uplift the community.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this community different. You know? So like, who do I go talk to help me? Because somebody help me. And that was my first like break that I did, was like, y'all don't even, like, I know that y'all probably like, who is this little girl? She ain't from here.
Tight.
You know, I already know that y'all counting me out, but no, for real, help me. Where do I need to eat? Where do I need to go? Tell me, call me up, 616, hit me phone, like, tell me what's up. And that was like the way that people started like breaking the ice, I guess, with me. Because I was literally like, no, please.
He's really asking for help. SOS.
Help. I don't see y'all. Where are y'all at?
For sure. So with getting into Grand Rapids, how do you even pitch something like this? What does a resume look like to pitch to
Ooh, that's a good question.
to a radio station?
Ooh, okay, so the process is a little different. This industry is very much like who you know. Like, yes, you're gonna see job listings, but like, it's very much like who you know. Yeah. But they're always gonna ask you for the standard resume. It's just corporate stuff. But in this field, they obviously want to hear how you sound, how you are able to cut things, because obviously people have short attention spans. You can't just be talking all day, especially if you're not on a morning show. You only have a certain amount of time to speak, especially when you're talking in and out of songs. So you don't have much time, maybe 30 seconds, if that. So they need to see that you can handle yourself and what you're going to sound like compared to like the other people on the lineup. So you have to send in a air check. So that would be like, instead of just sending an EPK, you would also send me like a short snippet of like a song that you have or something like that, just to compare it. Like news people, when they get their jobs, they have to send in a reel, which is just like a mashup of like a minute of just everything that they've done, like the best of their work. So you have like roughly a minute, maybe a minute and 15, no more than that, to like talk, produce great content, and hope for the best that they like what they just heard.
So, was you about to go?
No. I was just gonna say, for y'all trying to get in the radio, there it go right there, the big oop.
So you speak of that cultural shock of like, what can you explain? Like, what are those differences that you saw that was really like, whoa, like this is different.
Okay. One, not to bring race into it, but I was like, where my people at? Where y'all at, babe? Call me up, hootie hoo. And I was really hoping that somebody would get the response back. I think also the mindset is different. Not saying that like it's not a hustler mentality here. It's just like a hungrier thing in DC, because like like whether it's locals or like people that move there, like everybody wants something. So like it's a lot more like, how can I help you help me so that I can help myself type thing.
Tight.
Instead of like the hungry, like just like to each other, like to each itself, I guess.
I want me to be.
And it's like
all the time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'll say it's definitely slower, obviously. But with the additions that the city's trying to make, I see the changes, and I'm hoping that the changes will benefit the people and not just the economy.
Makes sense.
But I think those are the main ones that like stick out to me the most. And also it's just cold.
How do our food match up?
I was just about to say that, because people that be
humbly.
coming out of nowhere be trying to go crazy.
Is this a safe space?
It's a safe space.
You lived in DC. If that's your spot, that's your spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take that L for Grand Rapids because yeah, and that's not just me. Like I took somebody back home and was like, no, like I'm not gonna say the spot, but we were having wings, and I was like, that's not it. Took the person back home, and I was hyping these wings up, and he was like, all right, like, for real, if these wings like that, I'll give you your props. He ate them wings, and he crushed that thing in, like, 5 minutes. I said, yeah, what's up? Next.
We gotta step it up.
I don't know.
I'm
I've been a lot of places and the wings ain't hitting, man. Especially the A. The A. I'm gonna say it every time,
You
bro.
will not stop talking about that.
I love the
Where
A,
you
y'all.
go in the A?
Everywhere. I've been everywhere in the A.
Like in the strip clubs too?
I've strip clubs. I've been to JJ's. I've been to
American
Mama's.
Deli?
I've been everywhere. I mean, the wings ain't shit out there. I'm talking about classic fried chicken. I ain't talking about
I'ma
drenched in
need
sauce. I ain't talking about none of that.
Okay, period. I'm gonna need you, if you ever in the DC area, go to Wings 21.
I'm gonna go to Wings 20. I'm gonna let y'all know.
Yeah.
Pull up.
We where you? Sorry, I don't want to jump the gun too much, but when you going back to that side of the country,
To DC?
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, next time you out there, we're gonna put something together. We're gonna give you our risky wing taste or something like that.
Yes,
For
I'll
sure.
do it. I love little eat taste.
Nah, I love me some wings. So
Come on now.
I'm judging wings tough.
He is. He been on them wings ever since. Who was we talking to about that? He's like, hey, I ain't gonna, man, them A wings is not it.
I don't know who he was talking to, man. But
He has
I
not let it go since.
Nah, bro.
So have you ever considered, like, with what you do, you're uplifting the community and everything, do you view kind of what you do in a journalism aspect? And if so, like, is that something you've ever thought about going deeper into? Like, actually really reporting on real world things at all? Real world
I
events?
respect this question. Nobody has asked me this question. I know that's right. I went to school as a journalist. Like, I got my degree in journalism and mass communications. So in a way, I do see myself as a journalist, especially like with things like the Kendrick and Drake beef.
Yeah.
There was a lot of miscommunication, lots of misinfo, and I prided myself on making sure that before I said anything on air, I had the right things, the right context. I wasn't assuming things.
Tight.
And when I was making an opinion, I stated that I was making an opinion so that you weren't thinking that what I was saying was factual.
So who won?
I feel like everybody should know who won. Like,
I mean, some people riding for that boy.
I mean, that's really cute. I guess you can give him a hug or whatever he asked for on that project, Like, I respect Drake. I respect Aubrey. But,
it is what it is.
Mr. Get Off did his big one. And humbly, he should have just sat down,
Yeah, he definitely did.
You taking it there, I'm taking it further.
And he did.
Okay? Literally, you egged him on and he said don't,
Sure.
and you did it again and he did it, and he was like, period.
And then
now
he sued.
And now your label is telling you that you're stupid. Take your L for what it is. Like, everybody
Relax,
is coming
big dog.
after you.
Right. Sure.
Like, please. Quit while you're ahead. Like, we still like your old stuff. Don't make me not be able to play that like Robert.
Oh, that's crazy work.
Love you, Aubrey.
Wow. Like Robert took it to the whole another level. I ain't never heard that one.
I'm just, not because of the context, but like, people just don't play his music.
You feel weird doing it now.
People are starting to feel that about Drake.
Yeah.
Like, they're starting to be like, ooh, can I play this in this setting? Or are y'all going to hate me because y'all are all Kendrick stans? Like, it's starting to get weird.
It is.
I think Kendrick won, but I still play me some Drake, man.
And I'll still do it. But respectfully, he needs to sit down and take a break for a year and come
I'm
back.
not going to hold y'all. I don't play anything Drake after Nothing Was the Same.
Her loss is Drake best tape.
Yeah, you do like that.
I
but
love that.
His best tape?
His
Nah,
best
if
tape.
you're reading this, it's already too late. Is my favorite Drake tape.
Whack.
Crazy.
He just brought the good melodies and good rap to that, man.
Man, he was snapping on that.
I don't know, the way him at 21 was just bouncing back and forth.
That's 'cause he
Fire.
got 21 on.
Exactly.
I know, but it just, that's
21.
why he brought out his best side to my personal
He was
opinion.
singing to it. 21. Won't you do something for me?
Speaking on the topic that we on right now, how much, of the music that you spin is, what you want versus what the people want? Like,
Hello, L. None of it is what I want. I'm an R&B girly. Like, that's my sweet spot. Like, if you ask me anything about R&B, I will talk your head off for days.
Type.
Hip hop, like, I love hip hop down, but it's not like my home. So nothing. But I also don't pick the music. Like, I be loving when people be messaging me being like, y'all played that 10 minutes ago. Well, girl, don't you think I know that? I'm in the studio. I just heard it.
sure.
And do you really think that I would be playing it again if I had control of it?
Type.
None of these personalities have control over what music is spun. If they
sure.
did, they would do something about it. The only people that do are the DJs who are also on air personalities because they can do their mixes in their show. But like you don't get to touch that. Like that's a music director or the program director's job to do that. Like we don't get to touch any of that.
Type. Based on, I don't know if this is true or not. I mean, I guess you can answer the question. I was told that the reason why music and, different ads is replaced so many times is based off the analytics of how, the amount of time that the average person listens to music on the way to work or to the store. It's such a short time that we playing the music, the masses don't really hear it as often.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tight.
it's about the amount spun, the amount listened for sure, because the average person for my show is from 3 to 7. A person who's listening to me is not going to listen to me at 5.
Tight.
The person at 5 who's getting in their car is not going to be listening to me at 7. So like the time span that they choose is not only because of that, but also how it's doing on the charts, how many people are requesting it, what it's doing. Cause I mean, like, yes, Kendrick's Not Like Us, just because we were talking about that, was huge just as a song in general, but because of how the reception was, we had to spin it so much. Like, even though it may have irritated certain people who listened for that 4 hours, which thank you so much, it was because like it was a necessary thing. Like everyone was talking about that song. So like if we didn't play it as much, then people would be like, where the song at? Y'all not with the times. Right. So
was he botting?
I don't think he was botting.
There's somebody from the radio.
I don't think he was botting.
I don't think so either.
The people that I heard, like driving and walking to work, I heard somebody on Ottawa cranking that thing, blowing out their speakers. So, I think everybody in the world love that song. So
Type. I can agree with that. I fuck with it.
I've always wondered, how do in radio, they always get those celebrity call-ins. Like, hey, this is such and such. You listen to Lisha B on Magic 104.9 with the afternoon lituation. How do y'all do that? Like, what do y'all do to make that happen?
Oh, it's just like we do. If you have an interview with them, I literally at the end of it, I'm like, thank you so much for your time. If I can get a quick drop from you really quickly, and I'll just be like, say your name, say that you rocking with me, Lisha B on the afternoon lituation, and then that's what I'll do. And they'll cut it real quick if they're nice about it.
Type.
Who have been your favorite people that you've interviewed?
Okay. Well, one is Music Soul Child, because that is my musical soul father.
I've been listening to him a lot lately, actually.
And when he told me that I asked him a great question, I was like, don't tell me that. Another person who said that was also Boss. Boss was my first.
Oh, damn.
Who?
Boss from Dreamville.
Jacob? Oh, you interviewed? Oh, I didn't know that.
That's my guy. Every year that I go to Dreamville Fest, we have a picture.
You going this year? I'm mad I'm not going this year.
Yeah, I gotta go.
It's the last year, but
Hey, this weekend or next weekend?
Next weekend.
Okay.
Johnny going.
2 weekends? Yeah.
I went to the very first one.
Why you not going?
Huh?
Why you not going?
Why, me? It is what it is, bro. I've seen J. Cole 5 times.
Yeah.
And I kind of was just like, all right, bro, like, you're my favorite.
The last one, though, man.
I know it's the last one, but
Exactly.
I'll probably be producing for him eventually.
Yeah, and say that, and say that, and say that with your chest. Don't whisper that.
The man said that shit. I'll probably be producing for him.
I know that's right. Jermaine,
I'll let you boy.
get on now.
Tap
Okay?
in. We come on. The show. You know what I'm saying? Photos. You know what I'm saying? Everything.
The
Hey.
production, let's get it.
Everything. Just do it a whole day. Just come on up here.
We're going to have Lisha interview you on the radio.
Hey, friend. We've already,
Type.
Okay.
But yeah, Boss. I think he was my second celebrity interview. My first one was Nelly. But his really stuck with me because it wasn't supposed to happen.
Talking about Boss?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he was so gracious enough to like take time after his show to give me like a quick 5 minutes of his time.
Damn.
And he told me after the interview that like that was the best questions that he's been asked in a minute. And I was like, and I was still in college at the time. So I was like flying from the seat of my pants. I had no idea what I was doing. So that was the one that definitely gave me the most confidence. And I think the third one that I can think of was Ali Sadiq. And just because like his energy just felt like I could be myself and like kick it with him. Like our interview, yes, like it was obviously asking the questions because at that time he was coming here for his comedy show. But like I told that man that we were kinfolk and he agreed with me. Like we was actually like vibing.
That's dope.
And I love interviews like that because I want people to feel comfortable,
at home.
because these people are getting bombarded by people all the time. Like, I don't want to ask them the same stuff. I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable asking the clickbaity things. I want to ask them about the real art that they're doing, or like asking them how they are. Like, a lot of them don't ever get that.
Right.
So I think off the top of my head, those would be my top. And an honorable mention, how dare I not talk about former Vice President Kamala Harris.
I was waiting. I was like, hold on. I could have sworn.
Fire.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Oh my gosh. So I got to the station and randomly my boss came in and was like, how would you feel about like talking to the vice president? And I was like, I mean, who wouldn't want to talk to the vice president?
Type.
And then I go back to like paying attention, like logging in. He's like, so what if I told you that they emailed and they want to talk to you? And I said,
That's crazy.
excuse me? So yeah, they reached out to us and like asked me to interview them. So I had like 24 hours to get my life together. And then we did it again because that's my bestie.
Damn.
Crazy.
Fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
That just gave me chills. Like, man, they reached out to talk to you.
No
Yeah.
cap.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Man,
It was so crazy.
Yeah. How did you like prepare for that? Like, what was that like? Like, you just kind of, this is what I do, or were you like,
No,
I really need to be like?
No, I was like, I need to lock in for sure. Thankfully, I have really good friends like in other industries. Shout out to my journalism sisters, because I immediately went to them and was like, y'all are in the politics.
Shout out y'all.
I don't know the politics. And I want to make sure that not only do I sound like I know what I'm doing, but I'm asking questions that the greater Grand Rapids community actually wants to know. I don't want to ask her about her silk press, even though that silk press is laid to the gods every day. I don't want to ask her things that like don't matter, because at that time, Big Gretch was going through her women's supports, like advocating for women's rights campaign. So I made sure.
Shout out Big Gretch.
Big Gretch,
sure.
come on. And I was making sure to ask questions like that, or about the housing population and what that's going to do, because the housing situation here is not the best. So I wanted to make sure that I was as informed as possible, and that I was asking very articulate questions, because I didn't know if this opportunity was ever going to happen again. So I was like, I got to make sure that I'm locked in. And I had 24 hours before the interview, but I had to give my questions to them within like a 5-hour turnaround,
and all that.
which is crazy, because typically, from what I've been told, they give you questions. So the fact that they also trusted me enough to be like, here's kind of what she's doing, like what campaign tour she's on, and things that she wants to highlight, but send us some questions that you want to ask her. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll figure it out.
Damn, that's amazing.
That definitely probably played more into that journalism side too.
For sure.
And that's why I think it's very important, why like the conversation of what's going on in the media right now about radio. And that's all I'll say on what that subject is. But that's why I think it's very important that people who do this actually know what they're doing. I'm not saying they should have a degree, but it shouldn't just go to people who have a huge following. It should be to people who actually like understand that this is an art. You can't just get up here thinking that asking questions is easy, because it's not just that.
For sure.
Like,
it ain't.
the comfortability of your guest, making sure that the audience is appeased. Like, you're making sure that you're listening actively, but also making sure that you're ready to go, because something that person may be saying sparks a question. So now I have to remember, oh, okay, that I have another question now, but I was about to ask that. So like, there's a lot that goes.
That's crazy, because that's happening in my head right now.
That's a lot that goes into that the average person doesn't consider.
Right.
So especially on like red carpets, you can only imagine there's so many people at one time. You don't really know who's gonna be there. So it's like, yeah, I hope that it goes to people who like actually like put in the work and like study their craft.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want just people like making music who don't actually like do it, but there's people that do that right now. So
Going back to childhood, your young Lisha B, what does she want? What does she envision the stars and the world to look like, at this age right now?
That's crazy.
I think she just wanted to be happy. Like, I have a lot of other aspects of myself besides radio that like many people may not know unless they like follow me or like we're really friends. So like I dabbled in anything that I could. I just wanted to have fun and be happy. And I knew that like whatever I did, I just wanted to be happy. Like I wanted to be able to be happy and take care of my people. Yeah. So I think that she would just be like, "Girl, you good? All right, good. We good."
Good. I'm sure younger you proud because what you're doing is amazing for sure.
Thank you.
Definitely paving the way for people that look like us to be like, oh, I can really do it. Like you said, so a lot of white people, I mean that respect. A lot of Caucasians out here dominating, the world. So it's just like example, like regardless if you agree with Kamala's practices or policies, representation I think is very important. Yeah. So, yeah.
How did you come up with the branding, the whole lituation and the besties and all? Like, how did all that come about?
So before I got here, I wanted to figure out a way that like people could see that I actually knew what I was doing. So I started a podcast called The Lituation Room.
Fire name.
Thank you. And shout out to my college bestie, Josh, because he helped me come up with that concept.
Shout out Josh.
Shout out Big Josh.
And I'm very, like, I'm a creative, analytical person. So I think that's why I'm really good at what I do, because I understand, like, the artist and, like, the creative side. But I also understand, like, the analytics in the business and, like, what's needed. And I'm very good at marketing and the understanding of, like, strategies and, like, how people's brains work. Like, I love the psychology of, like, what people need to, like, grab onto something. And I took classes on psychology and like marketing classes so that I could really tap in. So when I started the podcast, I was like, I didn't want it to come out without it being completely like a plan. So I took like 3 months to like flesh it all out. Name, brand, what it looked like. I even have like a hex code for my color of yellow. Like it's not just a regular yellow. Like I have a specific yellow that like anytime I do anything, it has to be that color code. And like I know it off the top of my head. Like I know it. Like I can rattle it off right now. And I chose that specific color because I wanted it to break the algorithm. Because whenever you see a yellow or something that's going to grab your attention, you're like, oh, what is that? Whether you knew what it was or not, you saw something yellow, that's going to bring your attention to whatever that is. So that was the reason.
And I'm like, yeah, that yellow is like, yeah, that's great.
So that's the reason why I chose that. It's also a happy color, so I wanted people to feel like they were happy coming to me. That's why I chose the moniker as bestie, because I wanted you to feel like you were a part of my journey. Because the job that I do is weird. Like, you're listening to me and I'm just me. Like I want to be appreciative of the fact that my job is weird and I get to do a weird job every day. Like I'm just talking on air for 4 hours. That's weird. And I want to,
you're sitting there listening.
Right. And I'm appreciative of that. So I want you to feel like you are a part of whatever I'm doing. And then just like I took an online music business class from Berkeley and like learned the industry, like what ASCAP was, like what royalties were, what an artist team looks like, so I know who I'm talking to, why I'm talking to them, who I need to reach out to, what they need help on, because also on my journey, I wanted to make sure that it was a learning experience for both of us. So if an artist doesn't know something, I wanted to be able to give them that information if I knew it. So I was very meticulous for like 3 months, and then I just kept the brand going, even if the podcast is on a hiatus right now.
That's good. No, that's different than us, because me and him talked about doing a pod a year ago, and then it just never materialized. And one day he hit me up and was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm about to go do this interview. You want to go?" Yeah, I'll roll. And then we came up with a name and everything after that.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes the best stuff works like that. Yeah. Just for me, I'm so like, I need a structure. Like I need it to all be done before I do anything.
And like, you was in the business too, so
yeah.
You already know for sure what you like and don't like.
Right. And I wanted this to be so polished that like this would be my resume. Like I could just send them this and they would know everything.
That's nice.
That's fire. Damn, that's dope.
What have been your favorite events, community events or whatever that you've been a part of since you've been in Grand Rapids, and what are some of those memories that, I mean, we're going to touch on it if you're comfortable. Now that you're moving on, what are some of those memories that you'll take with you?
Ooh, okay. One community event that I definitely love was Rock the Block. I do that every year, and I'm so gracious that they're still letting me do it.
I was about to say, are you coming back? I was just about to ask. Okay,
yeah. They're still letting me do it, which I'm so grateful for Link Up.
When is that this year?
April? My God.
April?
It's in June.
April?
No, it's in June.
Oh, okay. Well,
It is June.
Something about Rock the Block in April too.
I thought something.
It's June 14th.
June 14th. Okay.
They're probably doing auditions in April.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
But the actual like block party is happening in June. And I love that because not only did they take a chance on me, because at that time nobody knew for real who I was, but also it was my first time like seeing people who listen to me. I have a really hard time of like really conceptualizing that people listen to me until I see them.
Type.
And like I'm really humble about what I do. Like it takes a lot for me to like talk my shit.
Right. I'm saying.
So like, yeah, people would tell me, oh, you have this amount of people listening to you. And I'm like, oh, that number is huge. Cute. Next. And then I would like see them rock the block, and like I would experience that love that I only saw on like a screen, or through like a message in the app or something. So it was nice to see that, and see that people like from a city that I'm not from like took me in essentially. So I always love Rock the Block, and plus like the kids be loving and Rock the Block. Okay. And then besides just a community event, one memory that will definitely stay in my brain is I was doing a show, and her mom, lady here, her name's Mackenzie, hey girl, she was listening to the show, and she DM'd me. I can't remember what, I think it was a Megan Thee Stallion song that her daughter wanted or something. And their daughter was in elementary school, about to go to middle school. Elementary school, about to go to middle school. And I was like, you know what? I technically like can't do anything. Like I can't change music, but I'll give your daughter a shout out. So listen in like 2 minutes. So I shouted her out. I was like, hey, bestie girl. Hey, Gabby. Like, that's my girl. Like, and I did the whole thing. And I didn't think anything of it. But then, like, her daughter was so excited that they invited me to, like, her graduation.
Wow.
And, like, now we're, like, so cool. Like, I went to her 5th grade graduation. I be in the group for their album because she's, like, a swimmer now. So I've been, like, looking at her swim meets that she does. And I was trying to see her before I left, but I probably just gonna have to come back and like pop back in and see her. But like stuff like that, like they brought me into their family. And it was like, yeah, that moment will never like not be in my head because that's all I want. Like I just want connections, and it was just so cute. I was like, oh my God, hey girl.
So what you leaving Grand Rapids have been revealed? What's the next chapter look like for you?
Well, I don't know when this is coming out, so I won't say
it might thing. If we move you up, depends if we move you up or not. I know we'll talk about it. We'll push it back, but it's probably about at least 2 weeks out for your
Okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. I can say it then if we're 2 weeks out. Cool. Yeah, so I'm moving to Detroit to join a morning show on 105.1 The Bounce.
Hit the clap. I think it's the green one. Wait, it's the yellow one? I
the green one.
So yeah, it's gonna be like
congratulations.
Thank you. So it's definitely a huge jump, and I'm still like wrapping my brain around that it's happening. Because even like people in the industry are like, do you know what you just did? Like I've only been doing this on my own full time for almost 3 years.
Damn.
And I just jumped from a 64 market to number 14, like out of the entire radio markets in the country.
Damn.
So, and I'm like only about to turn 28. Like
That's
people don't
amazing.
do that.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, they don't. I thought that this was just like
just on your journey.
Yeah, and I didn't know it was gonna happen. Like, I know that I'm talking. Is that okay? That I'm just like,
nah, go crazy. We here for you. We here for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Is this the part where you saying your mom knew before you knew? Okay.
Yeah, because like this year, typically at the beginning of the year, people do like vision boards or like they at least write their goals. It was really hard for me to like write a goal this year, like write things down, because a lot of the things that like I thought was gonna take years, like get number 1. I did that. Interview a legend. I mean, take your pick. Let's go with Kamala, I guess. Like, there's so many things that I've already been able to tap into just here. So I was like, I don't really know what else to do. I knew that my phrase of the year was back to me. Like, I just wanted to, like, find and be me again and not just, like, the persona of Lisha B. Like, be me. So I didn't really know what was going to happen. I just knew that I needed a change. And I saw the job, applied, didn't think anything of it. And my mom was the one that was like, no, I think you need to like really understand that this might actually happen.
Damn.
And I was like, no, it's cool. And then like
Shout
a month
out
went
Dukes.
by, and like then stuff like immediately started rolling. And I was like, oh, you were right. And she was like, yeah, no, I felt it. And she felt the same thing when I was getting the job to go here. So I was like, no, I need to start listening to you, my dudes.
Right,
like, I need to start listening to that feeling. Because that feeling knows what's up.
Sure.
So yeah, it's I don't think it's gonna sit in until like I crack the mic for the first time there. Cause it's so like I'm trying not to feel like an imposter or like feeling like it's not supposed to happen to me. Cause I feel like I feel like I know that it's happening, but I feel like it's happening to like someone else, and I'm just really excited for them.
Type.
So it hasn't really set in that like, no, it's happening to me.
Right,
Like even
once you touch down,
right,
you'll be
like
oh.
even talking to friends like trying to leave, I'm like, see y'all later, and they're like, girl, no, you're not. Like you're literally leaving. What are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, right.
Type. Oh, my fault.
No, I was just saying.
I definitely know that feeling of like not clapping for yourself. You know, for example, like with him bringing up the art gallery this weekend. I don't know, something about when you supporting everybody else. It's like, yeah, you know, you clapping, you supporting, but when you get that big shot, it's kind of like, what do I do? You know, am I just supposed to, you know, be hype, or am I supposed to move on? But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. It's also cool to for sure hear you speak like that. You know, because you know a lot of people be trying to act too school, like, you know, I already know this was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Which you really don't.
No.
You know, you really don't.
I ain't gonna front. That's one thing about me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm gonna be straight up. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just excited for the journey because clearly, like whatever I've been doing is paying off. So I'm just excited to keep going, even though you know leaving's bittersweet. But.
We're only 2 hours away.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
we're
what I
only
tell
2 hours
everybody.
away. Yeah.
I'm like, y'all acting like I'm leaving like to California or something.
Type. So,
No.
So how does that show look? Is it a solo show? You gonna be, you know, with a team?
Team.
Okay. Ooh, fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the name of that radio? Can you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it'll be out by then.
Okay.
105 on the bounce is the one that I'm
Okay.
joining. Yeah.
That's incredible, man. Definitely congratulations again on that.
For sure.
Thank
Big
you.
congratulations for sure.
You do a little bit of acting, don't you?
You know, I dabble.
Multi-talented.
I dabble a little bit.
Looking to do any more of that moving forward?
Yeah, for sure. I think I took way too long listening to other people and not really like doing what I wanted to do. And now that I've gotten a taste of it, I can't go back to not doing it.
Do you want to stay on the play level? Or you trying to go?
You know, I don't know. I love being able to do shows because at the end of it, it ends. And like it's a lot longer than just doing like a movie. Like a movie, it can be like for a few months, and then that's it. But you have to like fly and like replace your whole life.
Yep.
Not saying that like for plays they don't, because people do be moving from Broadway. But it's like for community theater, I can still be doing what I want to do, but still, you know, having the creative outlet that I want. So I don't know if I necessarily want to make that into a career, because while I love radio, the reason why I act is because doing this as a job takes a little bit of the fun out of it, because you're worried about making money and making the quotas for the big wigs. So like you're not as like not saying you're not as excited, but like it takes a little bit of the fun out of it. So I wanted to
100%.
find something else that still allowed me to be the creative that I wanted to be, that had no tie to like my livelihood. So I don't necessarily know if I want to add acting into that, but I know that I want to continue to do it in whatever capacity life allows it to go, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So speaking on you know, being in acting, you know, I guess you big into films as well.
I love films.
So does that yellow come from Tarantino with his?
That is so good that you asked that.
That's crazy.
I mean, I love Tarantino, and maybe subconsciously, yeah. But it's
crazy.
like with Tarantino's movies, like they're never dull colors. Like even if they are, there's a meaning to it. There's a reason for it. But most of his stuff, because they're so action packed, they're going to like have marketing that punches in your face, from the colors to whatever the like video footage
The
is.
little loud noise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like there's intention behind everything. So I wouldn't say necessarily because of him, but I will say that his eye is definitely probably something that I looked at. Because, I mean, not just him, but, like, other icons. Like, I mean, I love Quinta. Just, like, in television world. Like, I'm very meticulously looking at these people's interviews and, like, learning what their brains look like. Because a lot of the stuff that they use can help me. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I say that because Yellow specifically, it's a million videos on YouTube how to get, the Tarantino yellow, for my, our letterings. And so that's a big thing. So
and that's what I wanted.
If it came together like that. Okay.
That's what I like you said, people are looking for Quentin Tarantino's yellow. I want people looking Lisha B's yellow. What is that? That's what I want. Yeah.
How much, because you spoke about taking psychology classes, how much does that play into marketing and business from your own point of view? Like, can you break that down?
So much. When it comes to interviewing, psychology helps me with, like, first off, body language. I immediately am always looking at people's body languages. And based off of theirs, I adjust mine. So if I'm seeing that they're more, like, closed, a lot more reserved, I'll, like, open myself up. So that they know that, like, I'm, like, a comfort to them so that they can allow themselves to open up. Or, like, I'll crack a joke or, like, I'll, do something to ease the ice if I see that their body language is, closed off. For just radio purposes when I'm cutting a break or something, I'm always thinking of how a person's attention span would be or, like, what will grab somebody. Like, before I do, like, a huge minute break, I'll do a tease. So I always have to think what's going to hook somebody so that they're coming back after 3 songs to hear what I have to say. So I'm always thinking what way that I can tweak a sentence so that, okay, everyone knows what's going on with Drake and Kendrick, but how can I make it seem like what I'm about to say is like, oh, no, you got to hear this, y'all.
Yeah, shake the world.
So, like, how do I do that? I'm thinking psychology-wise, like, okay, there's certain keywords that I can use or some way that I can make it sound juicy but not clickbaity. Like, I'm thinking all of those aspects. And then marketing-wise, I'm thinking, okay, like I said, yellow breaks the algorithm. That's going to break their eyes, so they're going to see, okay, cool, that just grabbed my attention. But now I need something on that's going to hook them or a caption that's going to drive them to want to have a conversation with me. So I'm always thinking psychology for sure. What people have told me is that radio is the theater of the mind. So you always have to play an acting or a psychological role in this seat. You're always playing up something. Because even if I'm having a bad day, which I know that you guys have an access, but, like, even when I'm having a bad day, y'all will never know. Like, there's been times where I have been crying, fully throttle sobbing in the studio, and I will cut a break and go right back to sobbing. Because it's a theater of the mind. People don't want that. Right. They want a relief. They're coming to me for that. For sure. So it's like I've got to keep that in mind at all times too.
Damn. I like that. As somebody who is very much interested in psychology, I do like that breakdown of, so do you kind of see people as, like, I don't know, walk-in analytics or information?
I try not to.
Okay.
Once I leave the studio, I try not to. And that's why I low-key might, like, self-isolate myself in a way so that I don't see people like that. Because I do catch myself being like, what are your intentions? Or like, ooh, that's a really good. So let me take that from what you just said and then use that later. I don't like doing that. So
Dangerous.
I can't turn that off.
See the feds out here.
No.
I can't turn that off, man. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I am too. I'm always studying people. Like,
because it's like sometimes stories that happen are just really good, like, oh, well, that just sparked a conversation. Let me bring that to the station. Not saying I'm about to out all your business, and obviously I'm going to ask for permission. But it's like a conversation has helped me with so many. Like, I mean, there was a conversation that me and my friends were having where my friend said something about wanting to put warning labels on all men. And I was like, how iconic would it be if, like, we all came with warning labels? Like, what would that say? Like, what would your warning label be? And I was like, yo, that would be so crazy. Not only is it good a question, but also people are crazy. I'm about to get some crazy answers. Especially if I'm like, yeah, tell me about your ex. They're about to go stupid. I'm about to get some crazy radio time right now. And what happened? Everybody was so excited for that.
That's like, I was on Twitter today, and it was like somebody wrote, moments when you knew your ex wasn't the one, and it's just this crazy thread.
Exactly. See, so it's like stuff like that. Like I'm always having to be thinking, but I try not to like always be working as much as possible.
Yeah, that is definitely something hard to turn off. Especially in this. And I be talking to her. I'd be like, man, you know, I know this gonna happen. I feel like I'm rarely wrong because if you take them little key pieces of information and you hold it in the back of your head and you apply it to a situation, you'll get it right 90% of the time.
Yep.
2025. You know, you moving on. You leaving us Grand Rapids. You know, west side of the state people alone. What else 2025 got for you? Oh, you can't sit that far out.
I don't know. Like,
just riding away.
I just know that there's an interview that I absolutely must do this year. I don't care. There's two. And if I don't do them, I'm gonna be really sad.
Damn.
If I don't interview these two people, I'm gonna be like, nah, 2025 gotta run me my ones.
Can we hear the people or you hold them close?
Oh no, absolutely, because I need them to understand that this is not a game. So if you're listening right now, Miss Coco. Hi, girl. I love you so much. Miss Coco Jones and Miss Doechii.
Hey.
Yeah, I need y'all.
Hey.
ASAP.
I need to talk to Miss Coco
room?
Jones, too. I'm just saying. Hey. Coco.
Tap in. My man needs to talk to you.
He needs to talk to you, and you can come talk to me, too. I hope.
For sure.
I'll wing man for you so you can.
Yeah.
Let's set that up.
No, I'm supposed to be. No, I'll say that after the pod. Go ahead.
But yeah, no. Those two, that's gotta happen.
That's fire.
I need that.
Any reason specifically why you would like to interview them?
Our personalities are very like I just feel like if I was able to talk to them, it would be such a good time. Like I would ask real questions because I'm such a true fan of both of them, not just like the wave that's happening for them right now.
Right.
Coco, I've known my girl since Let It Shine. Y'all don't really know my girl. Like y'all need to know that girl. That was Roxy. Let me go. Oh, come on now. Like, y'all don't really know what's up. And Doechii, I've been knowing her since she was doing the YouTube videos that everybody's finding, like the artist.
Yeah, I just found those like 2 weeks ago.
Like, I've been down with my girl. I'm not going to say your government name because I don't know you and I don't want no problems. But yeah, I've been down with Doechii for a minute. And I'm like, I want to ask, like, the things that people aren't really, like, I want to ask the real, how does your brain work, girl? Like, how does do the lyrics flow in your head, or like how does it go from so no, I just need that real bad. So hey girls, call me.
Tap in.
Yeah, but yeah, other than that, I just want to continue to create a new community now that I'm moving somewhere else, and I just want to like show myself that I can do this, because I feel like right now I'm in this space where I'm like, ooh, okay, I've never been in this like moment before. Can I do it? And I'm just like over and over like saying, no, I can do it. And I'm hoping by the end of the 2025, I'm like, dang, I just did that shit.
Tight. And that's dope. You got anything you want to say in closing?
Yeah, I always like to ask people who are those inspirations for what they do. So like, who are the GOATs for you in the realm of radio?
Oh, yeah. First, Autumn Joy Live. Love her. Without her, I would not be as successful as I am right now. Same with Mary Kay, my girl, the GOAT of radio. Angie Martinez, I've looked up for her for years. Angela Yee, I was able to meet her maybe like 3 years ago. Dang, I'm missing people. Morgan Media. She is the one that does the front page for Breakfast Club.
Oh, wow.
That's my girl. I love her. I'm so excited for her rise. And then Kayla Thomas, KT, she's over at KISS in LA. And Leah Henry, because she's always got that lemonade. So those are the people. And I guess like OGs would be like Donnie Simpson, if y'all know who that is. He's the radio man with the green eyes. He used to be on what is that? What is that?
Light-skinned brother?
No, he's chocolate. He was on that BET show like Video Soul like years ago. Okay. Like he was the one hosting that. So definitely tap in if you don't know. And then like people like Tom Joyner, because like who doesn't know Tom?
Sure.
So yeah, those would be the people.
Steve
and
Harvey. You considered Steve Harvey like that? Because I know his more like comedy type stuff.
No, I respect Steve.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't put him in my goats, but like I respect him. He's a legend. Like him, Tommy, Cheryl, all of them. Like they are legends in their right. But I didn't really like grow up on them. Like they came later for me. But yeah, those are the people. And like the core people who have also helped me. Like these people that I just listed have helped me in my career, not only just like successful in their own right, but they have also looked back and helped other people. Yeah.
Incredible. That's it for me, brother.
Well, this is the end. You wanna do the drop for this one?
No, you got it.
No, go ahead. You do the drop for this one. While I receive the bottle, you go ahead and do the drop for this one. Let them know what's going on.
All right. Well, every time we get a risk taker on here, we always first and foremost, we are sponsored by Stock the Bar.
Period. Stock the Bar.
Mr. Daryl Reese. How many times is distilled?
It's distilled 7 times.
And where did we get it?
I like to get at the AC Hotel.
With what?
Homemade lemonade.
Homemade lemonade. We always present one of these as we are sponsored by Stock the Bar to our risk
sir.
takers.
Aw, thanks,
Every
y'all.
episode get their own personal bottle. You know, sponsored by Stock the Bar Vodka. Shout out Daryl Reese.
Yeah, shout out Daryl.
So it's just for you. Every episode we
Oh,
like to.
thanks.
You taking that with you to Detroit? Let them know what it is up there.
I'm about to, come on. They don't know.
You can get these at almost every store in Grand Rapids, but you can get them at all Michigans, all across the Midwest. So
Myers.
Ain't no excuse for y'all. Excuse me, Myers,
Yes.
all across the Midwest.
It's
Ain't
all
no excuse. Ain't no excuse.
And then,
So-
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, you got it. You got it.
Y'all know what to do, man. I don't hear no excuse here. Go get your bottle.
Okay.
Okay. And then we also like to ask the risk taker if there's anybody that they feel like should be highlighted on our show as being a risk taker. And if there are just 2 or 3 people, it doesn't necessarily have to be in your realm. I actually am trying to get more people to go outside of your realm because we want to get more of a wide array of people. So look into the camera, shout them out, tell them that they need to come on. This is
Just
their
a
invitation.
personal invite.
All right. Well, one is Venus Flytrap.
course.
That's the GOAT
She
risk
on our
taker.
list, yep.
Without her, I wouldn't have been successful as I was in Grand Rapids. The GOATs podcast, all 4 of them.
I was just looking at yours today.
Shout out to the Ghost Podcast.
Those are like, I respect them. Like when it comes to podcasting and like stuff, like I respect
I love
y'all
their
and
format.
I respect them.
I love
like
how they got
I'm
that
a
format.
very nitpicky person when it comes to this industry. So like I respect y'all. I respect them too. So definitely the GOATs. And then I'm trying to think.
One more for us.
Letitia Lipscomb. She used to I don't want to say the old company that she works for just in case, but like she does a lot of philanthropic work here and is very much advocating for the BIPOC community, specifically the Black community, to rise and the way that they need to rise here in Grand Rapids. So I would say all of them. And shout out to me for making sure that all of them had a woman.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to you.
Because shout out to Sophie, the GOATs, period. Yeah.
Well, take us out, brother.
Y'all know what it is, man. It's been another great episode of the Risk Takers. You know, got my mans over here.
Chase.
Yes, sir. We had an amazing guest with us.
Lisha B, thank you for
Appreciate
having
you
me.
coming.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
It's been an amazing episode.
Blessings. Like, comment, subscribe.
Come on, that's what y'all got to do.
Yes,
Where can they
sir.
find you at?
Oh, they can follow me everywhere. Lisha B Live. That is Lisha B Live because I'm always live somewhere.
We got our own drop on here. We're gonna use
Right.
that for something. And we out of here, y'all. Make sure y'all tap in.
Risk takers out of here.